Hi, so we interviewed the Disability Resource Expo, and their goals are to provide information about people with disabilities to people living in the Champaign County and people residing in Eastern Illinois. And we interviewed Barbara Bester and also Allison Boo.
Yeah, so the Disability Resource Expo is usually an event held in person with all the exhibitors around, like an event space, but for this year and the past year, the expo has gone online with resources available that is accessible to everybody, no matter what the disability is. If you have a disability, what age, everybody can use the resources, learn from them, and yeah, this is our interview with Barb and Allison to talk more about what the role in the expo is and what the expo does.
But we're looking forward to next year and continuing to be able to get the word out to people. Allison, I'll let you go ahead.
Hi, I'm Allison Boots. I've been involved with the Disability Resource Expo for about 4 years now. I work mainly as a marketing associate, handling things like press releases, and our social media accounts is a big part of what I do. Also, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
That come and the whole purpose is for them to share information about the services, resources, and technology that their particular organization or business has to offer to people with disabilities. So we try very hard to have resources there for all kinds of disabilities. So it's kind of a one-stop shop type of situation. We try to appeal to people with all kinds of disabilities, as I said, but not just people with disabilities. There are families and caregivers and just the general public who want to know more about the various disabilities that are out there and learn. It's a great event for families. It's not restricted to adults or anything because, kids relate, they're going to relate to people with disabilities throughout their lives. And so it's important.
And Allison, did you want to talk a little bit more about the misconceptions that come with disability and how the expo works to address those?
I believe that one of the biggest misconceptions about people with disabilities is that we can't live our lives to the fullest or live full lives, but that is very far from the truth. There are very many people with disabilities out there that work and live independently, have their own families, and do anything that they want to do. They just have to do it a little differently at times. And I think that our expo is great at helping to debunk that misconception by showcasing all the resources that are available in Champaign County. We have all kinds. There's personal mobility, which is the dealership in our area where people can go to buy adopted vehicles. We also have Quality Med Transport, which is another transportation resource for people who aren't physically able to drive themselves. There's Division of Rehab, who is also often an exhibitor that has the ability to help people with disabilities gain education or gain employment with the help of job counselors. We have Illinois Anarchis comes to the expo sometimes, which is an organization that helps individuals with disabilities in Champaign County start their own small businesses. So there's all sorts of resources for people with disabilities as well as their family and friends to look into at the expo.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your responses so far. What can other people do to help advocate for people with disabilities?
I think the biggest thing that we will always need is allies and just people to continue to push for an inclusive, more equal society. Inclusion never hurts anybody. More minds are better than one. And I think that Champaign in particular, thanks to the U of I, we have so many different kinds of people that are a part of the community, and not just the disability community, but within the disability community itself, there's so much diversity. And I think that we all just need to work together to be allies and advocate for not only disability rights, but human and civil rights going forward, especially in these unprecedented times, given the ongoing pandemic and whatnot.
For sure. Thank you so much.
In this part of the video, we'll explain how to navigate the Disability Resource Expo website. So if you go to www.disabilityresourceexpo.org, you'll be taken to the homepage where you can find general information regarding the expo. If you scroll to the bottom, you can find more information regarding being an exhibitor, being a volunteer, or being a sponsor. If you go to the middle of the page, you can go to the resource guide directory, and you'll find all the resources that the expo has worked with over the past couple of years. And you can also sort by service type on the side. You can also find this information at the top by scrolling over resource guide and clicking on the service type you're interested in. So for example, if you're interested in education and recreation, you can click on that and you'll only get resources regarding education and recreation. Again, at the top, you can find more information about becoming a volunteer, an exhibitor, or a sponsor. And finally, you go on the Contact Us page. You can send them an email directly through this form. And on the side, you'll find all the people associated with the expo.